We've got trouble in paradise. Oh, the 2-6 Giants got themselves some trouble. This is New York Giants Straight Talk, of course, brought to you by the mighty FanDuel. That's FanDuel.com, number one sportsbook in the land. So, Carl Banks, the venerable Carl Banks, made a Chris, for the love of MMA, I was actually thinking about you the other day. Carl Banks made a comment the other day in reference to the play of Dexter Lawrence. I'm not going to fully get into it because I think everyone has heard it. Everyone has rehashed it. But there is questions, and there is people are taking offense at times in reference to maybe what Carl said. You know, Carl basically came out and said, you know, the league right now and players right now, they're not respecting Dexter Lawrence. And, you know, when you look at the comment on the surface, you kind of see it and you kind of hear it and you're like, well, okay, you know, that could be kind of harsh. You know, coming from a former Giant legend, 2-time Super Bowl champion. But if you take a look at the additional comments and you listen to the entire statement, you know, it's not like it's not like it's one of those things that you listen to it and you're like, okay, well, you know, there might not be some truth. There might be some truth in between and behind the comment itself. And I think that's where the fault of the fan base and the overreaction and maybe the reaction that Dexter Lawrence had was taken out of, you know, there with Carl Banks. What I've noticed is there's not malice. Good morning, RWB. There's no malice. It's football comments, and of course, listen, nobody likes to be criticized in reference to their play. Nobody likes to be criticized in reference to the job they do. Hell, I could tell you that. I get criticized all the time when I do this shit. And I always tell people the same thing. With the criticism, I would hope that people would look at the surface and see exactly what I said and maybe go down a little bit deeper, because I usually go deeper, and Carl Banks went deeper as well. And
that's what she said.
And usually I'll go deeper with my regards and my aspects. It's like I did a short the other day that I said, Jackson Dart reminds me of the next Rick Meyer. And if you listen to if you saw the title, but you didn't listen to the short, you automatically were enraged. And I lost 269 subscribers just from that short, just from that 2-minute short. And I wish a lot of them would have gone back and actually, I don't know, listened to it, because I basically said he reminds me of Rick Meyer because of these reasons, but he's still young and he's going to need a good coach to help him move to a better direction. But everyone all just heard is I compared him to another first-round failure. But you didn't listen to everything. You listened to a part of it. And I laugh because someone put it in the comment section already. Let's see here. Actually, not Banks' place to call it. Players, that's Dable's job. Dable should call out Banks. If Banks had balls, he would call out Dable rather than his balls. So Dexter is handling it like a champ. No, honestly, it is Carl Banks' job to call out players. It is, and not call out players in reference to going into the locker room and calling up, but it is his job as a paid color commentator by the New York Giants to make observations. So technically, it's 100% his job. Anytime that Carl Banks for years kind of not let, I'm going to drink some of that Mighty Black Rifle coffee. For years, Carl Banks at times would let things, you know, I always said he would let things slide, or he wouldn't give the full address to the full comment. But now that he literally is sitting there and making astute observations about players and literally telling you what it is. I don't have a problem with that. If anything, I have more respect for Carl Banks because of the fact that he literally went out there and spoke the truth. Because a lot of times you have play-by-play guys that don't really speak the truth. They just kind of give you, they kind of give you this, behind the scenes shit, but they don't sit there and tell you everything that's truly going on and everything that they truly think. And I think that's what we need to look at in regards to when he made these comments, because a lot of these comments, if you want to be honest, they are based in facts. They are based in actual information that's put in front of him. So it's one of those things that I tell people all the time, don't shoot the messenger. Let's see. Can we get the hold on here?
But Smart Giant Carl Banks had some critical comments about you and your game. Do you have any response or any thoughts on his comments?
Hopefully you can hear this.
I don't really know what he's watching. But hey, he can say what he wants. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, trying to help us get a win.
I can tell you what he's watching. He's watching teams gash the Giants' defensive line, not just now on the exterior, but also in the interior, and has been doing it for 3+ seasons. And there is a constant in these 3+ seasons, and that's the play of Dexter Lawrence.
When you hear something like that, is that more of a motivator for you, or?
Nah, but if people listen to him, then you go. Then let's say this. I hope people start trying to disrespect me. Let's say that.
What's your rebuttal? How would you evaluate your performance this year?
I think I'm doing what I can when I get the opportunities. Numbers not everything.
I always love it because that's the proverbial go-to. Well, numbers aren't everything. Numbers aren't everything. I always love that. Numbers aren't everything. How many times do we hear this, that numbers aren't everything? Numbers, especially in football, on certain degrees of numbers, are what you are evaluated on.
I've been an advocate over that last year, the year before that. Like, I don't think numbers indicate anything for real. They just something that's understood.
That's why the Giants have the best defensive line in football. Numbers don't mean anything. Fuck those numbers.
I think the way I play is disruptive, and you ask the people I play against, they'll tell you the same thing.
The question is, if your play is disruptive, Mr. Dexter Lawrence, there would be a hell of a lot more sacks on this team. Kayvon Thibodeau wouldn't have 2.5. The superstar Abdul Carter wouldn't have a half a sack. There would be a lot more disruption because you would be taking double teams.
That's what she said.
And I'm not seeing that. And I went back and watched a lot of film. I'm not seeing a lot of double teams anymore on the venerable mighty Dexter Lawrence. And I have to laugh because I did a video 9 months ago, and we're going to talk about that.
Not people who's talking. So,
Do you talk regularly about the business?
No.
How often do you guys talk?
It's a hey here and there. Yeah.
Do you disagree with what he said? Is it fair to say that you disagree with his opinion?
For sure.
Do you have any idea why he would come to that conclusion?
Because it's truth. This is the problem. This is like my Jackson Dart short. It's the truth. And as a society, we are not ingrained to accept the truth. Now, there is reality and there's perception. But if you take a look at the way Dexter Lawrence has played, even with his 9-sack season, and even going back a couple years, his ability to be as disruptive as he was with Leonard Williams or Dalvin Tomlinson just isn't there.
It could be a lot of reasons.
Are you satisfied with how you're playing?
I think I'm playing well. Yes.
Dexter.
Yes.
First of all, I'm going to give Dexter a little, and he doesn't need the advice, but I'm going to give him a little media advice because I did work in media for years. No, I am not satisfied because honestly, as a professional athlete, you should never be satisfied. You should strive to be the best and to be better on every play. There are little things that I can do to make myself better, and those are the things that I need to work on.
There's criticisms that you can put on a player. That one's a pretty significant one to say that no one respects you. So how do you process it? Like when you hear, especially from someone in the building.
I hope they started not respecting me because that's not what's showing.
They have been disrespecting you, Dexter. You're not getting the double teams anymore. You're not getting all these double teams that you think you're getting. I literally watched 6 games
On the field, showing a lot of respect on the field.
When the lack of respect, I think, is based on the amount of attention you're getting, I would guess, double teams and things. Do you see that?
Yes, because if you go back and watch the film, he's not getting a lot of double teams. He's not getting the amount of double teams he used to get.
It has not changed at all in the last, this year, last year, the year before.
What's that?
About the attention that the opposing offensive lines are giving, as far as double teams and things like that.
Y'all ask questions like y'all don't watch film.
I'm asking.
Yeah, that's the problem, Dex. They watched the film. They literally went out and watched the film. So yes, that's why they're asking the question.
You.
Yes, I get a lot of attention.
Right, because when Carl said they're not respecting you, he's talking about not respecting you by double teaming you.
There we go. Boom. That's the fucking thing I was getting to. They weren't, and this is the thing about misperception and misconception. Everyone's saying that everyone's disrespecting Dexter Lawrence and all these players. No, they are not respecting him like they used to in regards to the amount of double teams that they put on him. God, this fan base makes me sick.
Get a lot of attention.
What's the best
Check
way?
the numbers.
What's the
How
best
did
way
it-
to put
Check
these
those
comments?
numbers.
And also
Wait. Check the numbers. You just told me a minute ago the numbers didn't mean anything. The numbers lie. Now I gotta go back and check the numbers. I'm so fucking confused.
last week you were going against a backup center.
Check those numbers as well.
But how you played in that game?
Check those numbers.
What's the best way to just put those comments to rest?
Oh dear Lord, yeah, that's right. You went up against a backup center. Your stat line was shit.
I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing to get ready to beat the 49ers and help us get a win.
How much?
Actually, it's not like
How much is your elbow affecting you?
My elbow is not an issue.
Did it prevent you? Did that injury prevent you from having the same kind of off season that you normally do?
My elbow is not an issue.
Dex, were you surprised that Carl chose to air those criticisms of your game the way that he did on the podcast, as opposed to coming in here or?
Why would he come in there and talk? I hate our beat writers. Why would he come in there and talk to him when Carl Banks is basically like I say, he's a color commentator with a podcast? Why would he go and talk to a player when he's not affiliated with the coaching staff? Oh dear Lord.
Seeking out in the building to talk to you?
Yeah, those are strong words, but that's how you feel.
They're strong words based in fact.
Fuck it.
Does it mean more to you those words mean more that they're coming from him,
No.
like a giant legend? No? Why not?
He's delusional. No.
Would you be open to a conversation with him?
How angry does that make you? That type of criticism coming from not from one of us.
It doesn't make that don't faze me, man. I'm just gonna keep doing.
It don't faze me, but fuck it, fuck him, and he's delusional. No, don't faze you at all.
I'm doing to get ready to win. That's it. I'm gonna keep preparing every week, getting ready to win, and going out there and not getting respect. Thanks, Dex.
Oh, dear Lord. Lordy, great balls of fire. Want to thank Funky Town. Well, you all know who Funky Town is. That's the Big Don. Giving out those 5 gift memberships to Online Big Blues OG Membership Club. You get your videos early. You get your shorts early. Get it now because February, the last day after the Super Bowl, 2 days after the Super Bowl, this show ends. We go dark. The light, it's over. The party's over. I'm never going to see you again. Here's the thing, Joe. I'm not standing up for my believed colleague because I'm not. I'm standing up for truth, honesty, and the giant way. Because everything that Carl Banks said was true. And it wasn't malicious. It wasn't to and this is the other thing that I can tell you after being a Giant fan for all these years. And yeah, we're going to talk about I traded. Yeah, we're going to call it. We're going to talk about that, how I called this. But but from listening to Carl in 20 plus years that he's been doing the broadcast, one thing I can tell you that he has a visceral emotion at times because he's a Giant legend, and he's also paid by the team. And sometimes there's visceral reactions, especially over the last for a few years ago. He would say things, but he would never really expand on them. Now he says things and he expands on them, and people get mad. But here's the thing: I never feel that Carl is, and I'm not speaking for Carl Banks, but I never feel that he is doing something for attention. I don't think that Carl Banks is doing something as we say here for the likes, the clicks, the bleeps, and the boops. He just does. Like I said, I don't know him personally. I've met him, and he told me I was his hero, or actually he knew greatness when he saw it. But he doesn't come across as the kind of guy that does these things just to get attention. He's not an attention-seeking guy like that. He is a guy that when he says something, that's what he's saying. He's saying what he needs to say. He's saying the truth. So I don't really think I'm standing up for him because there's no need to, because he's a grown man. He can stand up for himself. But he needs. I mean, if you look at the play of Dexter Lawrence, if you look even in his 9-sack season last year, I kept telling people that he's just not the same player, because a lot of those sacks came more towards a defensive end position. Remind you, this is your starting all-star, all-pro defensive tackle who makes $90 million. 8 games, he has 20 tackles, and out of those 20 tackles, 7 are solo, which means, like we said this before, he's not leading the point of attack. He's got 1 tackle for a loss and 4 quarterback hits and 13 assists. So the majority of his impact comes off assists. And so he is not, even when he was having, what's thunder? That's thunder. What the fuck is thunder in November? Almost November. Even when he was having his big season last year in reference to sacks. Yeah, he had the sacks, but a lot of those sacks came more towards the position of a defensive end. And he still only had 23 solo tackles and 21 assists. I mean, it's not like it's not, I've said this before, and I've said this a million times. He's not a good player. Not a good player. Yeah. But he is not Aaron Donald. Hell, I've said it before. Leonard Williams,
king of the almost sack.
Leonard Williams has gotten better, and since at times since he's left the Giants. And it's crazy. I think Leonard Williams' play over the last couple of years since he's left New York, he's been better than Dexter Lawrence. He had 64 tackles, 11 sacks last year, playing in 16 games. Yeah, and Dexter Lawrence had the interception this year, but Leonard Williams had 1 interception last year for a 92-yard touchdown run. He's got, right now, Leonard Williams in 7 games has 3 sacks and 30 tackles. 3 tackles for loss and 10 quarterback hits. And like I said, I don't think Carl Banks, and I'm not sitting there. Here's the thing about coaching, and that's how you know our coaching fucking sucks, because that's what coaching staffs do. Tell him that they're not telling. Oh, okay. All right. Well, you know what? I was actually going to yell at you for a minute there, but you're right. This is a great comment, because you are 100% fucking right. And that's how you know coaching staff fucking sucks, because what coaching staff should tell him, and they're not telling him this shit. So Carl Banks is telling him what coaching should telling him, been saying. Yes, 100 fucking %. Yes, you nailed it. We have to have a nail it sound effect.
Warning.
Damn it.
What is wrong with you?
Chip, I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
Actually, it's Black Rifle Coffee, but you nailed it. You're right. Everyone in this building, we told the story, and I'm not going to rehash the story because it was told to us by a person that was been drinking in a bar at before a wedding, and he told us the whole, and we've rehashed it. So he told us the whole story about the firing of Wink Martindale, what really happened when Wink get fired, because he was in the building. And it just seems like there is a segment of this whole organization that is scared of repercussions from Brian Daboll. Some people say that Brian Daboll now is a fucking nut. I don't know. I'm not in the building. I can't tell you. But there's some people that say that, that Wink, everything that Wink said about Brian Daboll was 100% true. But it's almost like you're right. We look at this defensive line. This is the vaunted defensive line that we're paying all this money to. This is the defensive line that we went out and we got Abdul Carter 3rd overall. This is the defensive line that was going to, that was this vaunted defensive line that was going to wreck the fucking league. This is the defensive line of Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns, and Abdul Carter. Not only are we going to smash the league, but we're going to smash everyone. We're going to destroy everyone. The Giants defensive line right now has 19 sacks. Majority of those, of course, come from Brian Burns. And Brian Burns is having a good season. Brian Burns is having a great season. Yeah, Danny Dimes, that's a good guy. That's a great question. I don't know how much a defensive line makes. I'd have to go back and look, but you got 11. I know you got 11 million in next year. You got 11 million in Kayvon Thibodeau. You probably got 8.5 in Abdul Carter, and then you probably got 20, and you probably got 40. Let's say 4. Let's say you probably got about 55 to 60 million dollars next year invested in this defensive line. And you're getting shit. I am watching this defensive line go straight up against some offensive lines, and I'm like, you should have like 5 sacks. But I just see zeros. And is part of it Shane Bowen? Yes, 100% is part of it Shane Bowen. I love Abdul Carter, but don't worry, Dexter Lawrence says you can't listen to stats except when you need to listen to stats. Abdul Carter leads the league in pressures by a rookie. He's got half a fucking sack. His last 3 games have been abysmal. We've talked about it 2 weeks ago. How the hell does a player put up a donut playing 75% of the snaps? 0 tackles, 0 assists, 0 pressures, 0 quarterback hits, 0 sacks, 0 interceptions, 0 tackles. He put up a fucking donut. And I kept telling people over and over again, this pass rush is going to mean shit if you don't have a good secondary. And Shane Bowen is not good at cultivating secondaries. And he likes to rush 4 and only blitz 27% of the time, which is what he did in Tennessee. But everyone told me I didn't know fucking football. I don't know. I just watched it. So, yes, you have the wrong defensive coordinator on this team. I'll say it. You have the wrong defensive coordinator on this team. 100%. 1,000%. You have the wrong defensive coordinator. But even with the deficiencies of the defensive coordinator, if you are such immense talent, you should be able to create pressure. I literally watched the likes of Spencer Rattler and Jalen Hurts just run away from our speed rusher Abdul Carter. Just run away. Just. I watched Patrick Mahomes run away from Abdul Carter and just run out through the outside and just go around. I'm like, how the fuck is 497-year-old Patrick Mahomes with all these injuries and all this shit being able to outrun a 22-year-old that's supposed to be the speed rusher? I don't get it. But it's all Carl Banks' fault. Fuck you, Carl. It's all your fault. Because you said the truth. That's why, like I said, we're standing up for truth, justice, and the giant way. $50 million the D line. I need to stop the run. If they need me, I'm 6'2", 260, and I stop the run. I can think, Darren, you know what? Suit up, brother. I'm 50 plus years old, and I think about coming out of retirement to play CB2, or at least play CB4. Cause sweat from my balls. James Williams has hit that like button. This team is garbage. This team sucks. They're garbage. They have talent. This Giant team has talent. They're a cut and paste talent, though. That's the problem. That's the problem. They are a cut and paste talent that doesn't mix together with the offensive or defensive philosophy. It doesn't make sense. Mr. Taz, the Eagle fan. The wild part about Hurts running away is is always that he isn't even a speed running quarterback. He's a power running quarterback who prefers to use his strength and raw speed than raw speed. I know. And I watched him just run away from Abdul Carter. I'm like, where'd he go? We've said, where'd who go? We've seen it before. James's favorite sound effect. I got to find it. I got to put it up on the big board. Where'd it go? You know, this is Abdul Carter trying to catch Jalen Hurts.
He went like this. He went like that. I said to Hollywood, where'd he go? Hollywood said, where'd who go?
I love what Carl's doing too. Keep it up. Ask me, you got your ring, I heard. I saw your comment last week, brother. I missed it the other day. Let's get to the let's get to some of these comments because I got a lot to say. I will like to say that I lost 297 subscribers from one video. 297 subscribers. Well, the good news is we're thinning the herd. I don't have to go out there and yell at any people anymore by blocking them. We're thinning the herd. My goal to when we quit in February is to have this many subscribers. Dave says, I watched an older video some months back about trading Dex. Damn prophetic. Please, Tim, don't quit, Tim. Please don't quit, Tim. I did a video 9 months ago, and it was titled, Why the Giants Should Trade Dexter Lawrence Now. And it wasn't a slight against Dexter Lawrence. It was just, again, truth, honesty, in the American way. It really just spoke about how we need to get assets for a player that is probably not going to be in his prime when we're good. And I think that, I mean, that was real. Whoops. Wait, I was gonna post a link, but evidently decided it wanted. The video is so good it wanted to play itself.
Defense used to be all about going back to the.
But here I'm gonna put the link in the chat here so you guys can watch it. Not now, no, but you guys can watch it later. The video, and literally it's just all about how the Giants need to move on from Dexter Lawrence. That is, it's not that I wasn't saying he was a good player, but I'm also saying a lot of times, is Dexter Lawrence a great player on a bad team, and would he just be a really good player on a good team? Because I think sometimes you reach a point in life where the name is bigger than the achievement. And I think we're going to, when Dexter Lawrence is 30 plus years old or 30 years old, tail end of that contract, I think that's where that's going to lead. I put the link in the chat there. It's go back after the show, or did I not paste it? I probably didn't paste it in. Fuck, I forgot to paste it in. All right, I pasted it in. There you go, Big T. What's up? What's up, Greg? Yeah, here you go. I put the link in the chat. There's the link. Go watch the video. It's all about how the Giants should trade Carl Banks. I did it 9 months ago because it literally makes football sense. Because he's not Aaron Donald, but he wants to be paid like Aaron Donald. He's a very good player. And I went down, and if you watch the video, I went down and I broke down his play over the last 3 years. And why he's a very good player. Is he still going to be a good player on a team 3 years from now when the Giants may be good again? That's all I said. It was nothing bad, but I got blasted for that video too. Help us, Obi-Wan. You're our only hope. Let's go. What's up, my brother? What are you doing, Lester? How you doing? Big Chris, for the love of it. Maybe Dex has an underlying injury he's dealing with. If he knows, it's totally understandable. Banks calling him out. I don't think he called him out. That's the thing. I think he just spoke truth. And then I love Dexter. Well, go look at the tape. Come back. Go look. And that was his answer for everything. But go look at the tape. I looked at the tape. I looked at the tape from when you played with Dalvin Tomlinson, and I looked at the tape the last 6 games. You are not the same player. You are not getting, wait for it, watch this, the same respect that you did 4 years ago. You are not getting the immense amount of double teams. You are not getting the respect. and it's not saying that you're being this is the other thing. It's not saying you're being disrespected. It's not saying, well, I'm being disrespected. Well, no, because if teams feel that they can lose the additional man off you, they can put it somewhere else, like either in an additional blocker or into cover, put him out into the field, put him out as a receiver. It's not a disrespect. No one's physically saying that Dexter Lawrence can't play, but they're just saying Dexter Lawrence is not having the same impact that he had 3 years ago. Let's give him something to talk about. Chris, either way, let's go Big Blue. Maybe next year we can have a confident team. Chris, man, I love you. I love you, brother, because I love all Giant fans that still follow this channel, because it's always maybe next year. We're in the final days of October, and we're heading towards 2-7, and we're already like, well, there's always next year. Oh my God, James, what's up? Good morning, Tim. How about the Banks? I don't think, like I said, we already talked about that. RW said, good morning, Tim. Has everyone in the chat just things couldn't get worse? Look for the organization. Something else rears its ugly head. You felt bad for Cam Scat. I mean, the Cam Scatteraboo injury, you always feel bad for a player that gets hurt. But the severity of his injury, and he had the fracture of the fibula, he had the protruding bone, and I said it on the stream the other day before we even knew about it, that if they went into surgery immediately, it was because the bone was sticking out. He had a protruding bone.
That's what she said.
Because I broke my forearm, and I broke it right half in the middle, and the bone stuck out. It was pretty gross. It's like, oh, that's my bone. That's my bone. So I literally, that's how tough I am. I fell. This is a good story. No, it's not really. I was walking my dog, and I fell off the deck because it was ice, and it was a thin layer of ice, and I fell off the deck, and I fell on the steps, and I turned, and I tried to protect myself, but I hit the apex of the step, and I cracked it right there. And then the bones were, so it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. So I'm living by myself, and except for my dogs at that point in time. And so I see the bones sticking out, and I love it because I'm like, oh, it's nothing. So I put my hand over my head, and the bone's sticking out, and I can't put my arm down because I was like, well, maybe it'll go back in. I know. One too many hits in the helmet. So I put my hand over my head again. Couldn't put my arm. So I drove myself to the hospital with my arm out the window, and it's like 23 degrees because luckily it was my left arm. And I get to the hospital, and these 2 ladies are in the emergency room. They're having this conversation. So I sit down, and the lady looks at me and says, we'll be with you in a minute. So she finishes her conversation and goes, how can I help you? And I said, I think I got a problem here. And she sees the bone sticking out. She's like, oh my God, why didn't you say something? I said, I didn't want to interrupt your conversation. That's called being polite. It's the last dragon. Does this possibly push the team? And they're not going to trade him. They're not going to trade him. People are too fucking soft in the new world. Oh, thank you. Learn to take criticism and keep it moving. Tim, some of the takes suck, but I still respect you for it. Well, thank you. I'm sorry. Did I not say 9 months ago they should trade Dexter Lawrence because he's not the same player? I told you, brother. I'm like Novocaine. Just give me time. I always fucking work. Those were actually 269 Chode Sports bots. I wish Carl would call out players more often. The Giant broadcaster for years have notoriously been silent when calling plays out in player coaches. Here's the thing about calling players out. You can't do it all the time. You can't, because then you're just then to someone's point earlier, you're just seeking attention. But to specifically call out a player because of something that he saw, that's when you do it. But you just can't willy-nilly call out players. Facts? Well, yeah, there's no facts, James. And I believe Dex's response was out of frustration of the reporters in his face. Correct me if I'm wrong. Here's the problem. As a former athlete, as someone that knows, that someone that's worked in the media, you know you're going to get these questions. It's not like Carl Banks makes these statements and then all of a sudden Dexter Lawrence does not know that he is going to be asked these questions. There is called something, I don't think the Giants do this very well. There's something called media training. I just gave you guys a good example of it early on when they asked about Dex. Do you think they're, when he asked the question about, do you think your playing expectations or anything that you could do better? And instead of Dexter Lawrence's answer of no, look at the tape. This is what you do as a professional athlete. We always strive to improve. There is times where we're not playing to our own expectations, and there is other factors built in around it. And as a professional athlete, you always strive to be better. So my hope is from week in, from week out, I improve as a player. And that's just off the top of my head, because I've done media training. You don't sit there and go, watch the tape, because you kind of come off as a dick, especially when you watch the tape and you don't see any double teams. Just throwing it out there. Dart reminds me of Mike Tomczak. He's going to flame out as teams see more and more film on him and quietly fade away. He's not Mike Tomczak. Mike Tomczak, of course, over with the Bears. He is not Mike Tomczak. And the comparison to Rick Meyer was because of the fact that Rick Meyer came into the league and, in early 90s standards, he lit the league on fire with his passing and his rushing. The problem is, as more and more teams watched film, they said, okay, this motherfucker can't go left. He can't throw left. And what we're going to do is we're just going to flood the right and make him go left. And he can't read defenses. And he never learned, because he got by on pure talent and ability at Notre Dame. So what happened was the coaching staff at that time in Seattle did not help him adjust. So when the rest of the league showed that he could not adjust, that's when everything fell off the fucking planet. And all I said was, if he does not figure it out, if Jackson Dart does not figure it out, then he is going to fall the likes of Rick Meyer. And that's it. There was no malice intended in it. There was no, I was trying to be, I always love it. I wasn't trying to be this person that everyone's like, oh, look at him, he's trying to make a name for himself by saying this. No. I'm just telling you the truth, that if the kid does not start adjusting, the league is already starting to adjust. That's just plain and simple. The league is already starting to adjust. And I think that if you take a look at it from that perspective, that's just the way it's going to be. The league is figuring it out. And I told you before, the blueprint from Vic Fangio was very simple. Vic Fangio said very simply, hey, listen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to contain the pocket. I don't need to sack him, which they got 5 sacks, but I'm going to keep him in the pocket and contain the pocket. And I'm not going to allow him to escape the pocket to use his legs to make things happen. And then I looked at his charts in reference to the wonderful next gen stats. Last week, he threw to the left side. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times he threw to the left side. He only completed 3 passes. He threw to the right side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 times. He threw to the right side 17 times. 17 times. And let's see here. And he completed, 17. That's 15. He was 14. So he completed 14 for 17 on the right side. 14 for 17 on the right side. He was 3 for 8 on the left. And if you look at his entire charts going back for every single game, the pattern is still the same. He is predominantly right side by 70%. Now, I'm not saying he can't throw left. I'm just saying that if you look at the charts, his throwing charts, this is not me in the Dexter Lawrence stats. You look at the throwing charts, he is 70% dominant to the right side. A big Zach Attack, thank you for Super Chat. All Super Chats go to Philadelphia. Children's Dart reminds me at the end of the career of Ryan Tannehill. He could be Ryan Tannehill. There's nothing wrong with being Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill was a good quarterback. Ryan Tannehill, I thought coming when he left Miami, I thought that was a mistake for Miami to let him go, because Ryan Tannehill was a guy that threw for 4,000 yards twice in Miami, threw for 4,000 and 27, and he threw for 20 plus touchdowns. I think 3 out of the 5 seasons he was in Miami, or 3 out of 6 seasons he was in Miami. I always thought it was a mistake. He found his stride outside of Miami with a running game, and I think that's what you're going to have to do with Jackson Dart. But like I said, if you statistically look at the Dart passing, you already see a pattern. And like I said, hold on. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'm going to show you the stat charts. And you tell me, I'm going to show you guys this, and you tell me what you see. Where is Messenger? Can we send in the Messenger? I'm going to show you this. I'm going to have to cut it though first, because of the fact that I'm lazy and I probably should have did this. And I laughed because someone made a comment the other day that Tim, you're probably going to have your soundboard. You're probably going to, someone's like, Tim, you're probably going to have your soundboard fixed and working and labeled, and then you're going to leave a week later. I'm thinking about doing that. Now, I want to show you something here, guys. All right, here we go. Here's Dak, and here we go. And this is his passing chart. Let's give him something to talk about. Let's talk about Jackson Dart. I probably should, because I need to lose some more subscribers. 296 subscribers lost off the one fucking video. Who said it before that we were a mamby-pamby society and people need to grow the fuck up? Who said that in the chat before? Because that was awesome. You're right. People are right. People are strange. All right, here we go. Jackson Dart's chart. There we go. Let's take Zach Attack's comments off here. This is Jackson Dart's chart from his last game. Do you see? Now, we don't count the middle of the field. Now, I'm counting this throw because it's off to the left. We don't count the middle. We count everything to the other side of the hash. So you have to count that throw. So let's go. Let's go one more time. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he threw 8 times to the left side, and he completed 4 passes. You can go to the other side of the field. He threw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 times. 14 times he threw to the right. And he was 12 for 14. But does anyone notice this cluster? Does anyone notice that cluster to the right? If you go through every one of his next-gen passing charts, you see the same, and I'm putting my finger in a circle like you can fucking see what I'm doing. You can see that same cluster. And the cluster is this. Within 10 yards, the majority of his passes are 10 yards, but within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. They're in that box. There is exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There are 16 passes within behind the line of scrimmage in 10 yards. 16 of his passes. You don't think the league is figuring that out? And that's on every one of his charts. This is just last week. This isn't just This isn't just me being an asshole. This is last week, and I've gone through every one of his charts. And it's the same thing. So you don't think a smart defense coordinator like Vic Fangio says, you know what, he's just going to throw to the right. So let's put everything to the right, close down left. That's why I said before, if you take a look, if I'm Vic Fangio, which he did, I'm giving him the middle of the field. I'm giving him the middle of the field because he is one in the middle of the field. He's 1 for 4 in the middle of the field. And if you watch the Eagles defense, which I said would happen, contain Dart, keep him in the pocket, make him a pocket passer, and make him throw from the pocket. Because when you're throwing from the pocket, normally you're throwing into towards the middle of the field or you're throwing to the right. He basically, outside of that, he completed 1 of 4 passes in the middle of the field. You don't think defensive coordinators who are studying this shit daily aren't fucking figuring this out? I'm a dumbass in my office figuring this shit out. It's not that difficult. That's why I keep telling people, football is life. It's not that fucking difficult. Check out Get Off My Lawn, the Mad Realmies of Gen X are great stuff. It was great stuff. I literally saw Abdul Carter stop. So Brian Burns was chasing from across the field. Burns is the only player who tries. Come on, man. Taylor knew his Joe, you know it's funny. You know me, I love Tyler Newman. I've been saying last year that motherfucker is as slow as my 67 holes. Excuse me, my 76 holes. Now it's up. It is literally my 76 Oldsmobile. You get them going downhill, then it runs fine. But too bad it just doesn't run fine at all. What is this Google Drive? All right, there we go. Sorry, I got to answer text messages. Let's see here. Yeah, Tyler Newman, man. I said this last year. Don't trust him. Bad angles. Slow as shit. Should be an in-the-box safety. Should play 75% of his snaps in the box as a quasi-safety linebacker in the guidelines of of the guidelines of Logan Ryan and Peppers. No, Mama said she was my dog too. I'll do it. Let's see here. Someone needs to explain to all these stat nerds that the only stat that matters is the final score. Good point. It is. But at the end of the day, according to Dexter Lawrence, listen, there's so many things I do that just don't show up on the stat sheet. And stats, stats lie. Next question. You need to just go check the stats. It says it all. Okie dokie, Smokey. As an Eagle fan, we'll give you a ringer for Dexter Lawrence. In a couple of weeks, this keeps up. You may get them for a bag of chips. Let's see here. BW. B. Will says, is it me or does it seem like people who know what's best for the Giants are not on the staff? Well, at least Carl Banks is in the building. Let's see. Coach Dave said there were a few million cancels here through HBO accounts after the Game of Thrones wedding, but 293 is, I know, man. 293 is great. I'm tanking this motherfucker. They always say you should not burn bridges. You should not, just in case there. And I agree to that to a point. I feel that you in life, and I mean real life, because I don't think this is real life. I don't think that YouTube is real, because like I said, majority of the time the people do this for the likes, the clips, and the bleeps and the boops, and they're putting on a persona or a personality. My dumbass, anyone that has seen me on this show and has met me in person, or people that know me for years, know that this is just me. What you get on the mic is what you get in real life. So they always say, don't blow shit up. We're blowing it the fuck up. Pedro says, I think Dexter needs someone next to him at the end of the day. He needs someone to help it, and Joe has no idea how to build complementary football on offensive defensive line. Outside of Adama and Sue, name me the defensive tackle that played alongside Aaron Donald. And I'm not being mean to you, Pedro, because I love you, brother. But this is what I always tell people. Name me, outside of the 1 year with Adama and Sue, name me the defensive tackles off the top of your head, not Googling it. Name me the defensive tackles that played alongside Aaron Donald. I'll wait. Big T, we already got the Big Greg. Let's see here. Evan, what's up? Dexter has been a team player this whole career, but something isn't there anymore. I kind of agree with that. I don't know if it's a lack of passion or a loss of passion, or sometimes with bigger players in reference to their size, they kind of go down. They do one of these. So there's always that as well. James Williams says, how many of our starters would be starters on field? We've already went through that. We went, there's maybe 3 guys on the entire 22 that would be starting someplace else. Tim, I remember you said back before 2024 season, Dex was a Giants' best asset to trade for draft picks. You called it. Actually, it was before this season. And I said, why the Giants should trade Dexter Lawrence now? This was before the beginning of the season. I still think you should trade Kayvon Thibodeau, because I don't understand how Kayvon Thibodeau was having the best season of his career with 2.5 sacks and like 11 tackles. But we're going to give him an extension for $86 million because we're fucking stupid. Where is he going to go? Where is he going to go with your New York Giants tattoo? There is no accountability on this team. That's what Carl Banks was doing. I don't know if it was accountability. I think Carl Banks saw. And again, I'm not going to speak for Carl Banks. I think he saw something. I think he made an observation as the personality / color commentator for the New York Football Giants, the ambassador of the Giants, and it was truth. And as someone said in the chat earlier, we have such a mamby-pamby fan base at times that they can't handle someone being truthful. Everyone's like, he's disrespecting Dexter. No. This is how I know a lot of these people that are saying this are in their 20s, because they have no indication on how the real world works. Thank God they didn't have a job in the early 2000s, because some of the shit that was said around there, they would make these motherfuckers cry. Trade for picks. Sweet. Let's draft edge who can't tackle. No stats. Those are the picks. Yeah, that's what we'll go for. If Tiki Barber can retire, then attack Eli Manning the waiver next year. Carl Banks called it like he sees it with Dexter Lawrence. You're right. Coach D says, Tim, we don't always agree, but you convince me more than IU. When I quit, I quit. I still think Dable needs to speak up, keep telling me that Dable is not a real head coach. Dable's not a real head coach. 100% right. And there's nothing wrong with that. We've talked about it before. Joe Bugle, wonderful fucking genius offensive line coach, genius offensive coordinator, crappy head coach. Fucking sucked everywhere he went.
That's what she said.
Brian Dable got fired from every job before Buffalo in the NFL. His success is tied to Josh Allen. He worked with Daniel Jones to the point they let him go, and he's a success in Indianapolis. So he's the quarterback guru. Jay fears why people want to trade going Goodwill for players with picks and all that's like it's totally normal when the picks bust. It's massive. I can't say that word today. I didn't get any sleep last night. An interesting thing, Dart makes a mistake. He ignores Kafka and goes to Wilson. And I did notice that. I have noticed when Dart makes a mistake, he does not go to Mike Kafka. RWB says, Cam is going to have a long ride to get healthy again, let alone play football. He's young and athletic, so he has better chance than most. People are talking about how he's going to be ready for training camp. The severity of his injury, when you break a bone to the point that it's protruding through your leg, and then you also fracture your fibula, and I forget what the other thing is, that is not an easy thing. He's going to have multiple surgeries. So if he comes back during training camp, I would be surprised, because a clean break, as Paulson Adebo, is not an injury, and I kept telling people that it's not an injury to easily come back from. Sometimes you're never the same. And to your point, Cam Scatterbo is young, but the severity of the injury, people need to be more realistic than optimistic. Teams don't fear Dexter Lawrence anymore, so no more double teams. You never see Parsons draw single coverage. Never saw Aaron Donald draw single coverage. Double teams cover linemen. They're feared. That's the thing. I watched the Packers game. I watch Packers football because I've said it before. I'm a Packer fan. We have been Packer fans and Giant fans in this house since I can remember. My dad became a Packer fan because of Vince Lombardi, and he was also a Giant fan. But so I watch all the Packer games, and you're right. Parsons almost on every single play is either double team or chipped before he goes into the person that's supposed to block him. Dexter Lawrence isn't getting that type of recognition anymore. He's not getting that type of, wait for it, respect. I love the part with Carl Banks when he goes, "You mean aura?" on my chin on the one show. So I mean, and that's gonna be that's gonna be respect. Aretha Franklin said it best. How does that break from Scott affect his running? I would draft another running back. Yes, the deck injured you like Dart injured neighbors. The deck is overrated. It's my own fault. I was gonna throw rock salt down on the deck that night because I knew there was supposed to be icy rain, and then I went outside like 6 a.m. Actually, it was like 5:30 in the morning, and I didn't. And it was dark because it was after November, so it was daylight saving times and all that. So I didn't notice that the deck had iced over. Tim Philly will give the Giant. We already got that one. Joe Ferris says, but I thought the whole league wants Neil Banks and Hyatt, according to Dunleavy fans. Nobody wants those guys. I believe Dex is playing hurt. Those elbows isn't right. He used to throw people around. According to Dexter, his elbow's fine. And honestly, I would respect him more if he said that, because now if he comes out and says it's my elbow, it's a fucking cop-out. Because then you say now it's your elbow after your diatribe, then it's just now your excuse. Man, you should hear the fuckery my coaches. Oh my God. I cannot even tell you in the mid 80s to early 90s, things that coaches said to you as a player. I've been in plenty of NFL locker rooms in the early 2000s, and the shit that went on in there and said in there would make a Marine cry. But the shit that used to be said like in high school. James says, I was worried that Mara gave Carl a call and said, "Hey man, the team is struggling. Don't need enough points. Don't do points." I'll point out the obvious. No, he's not Mike Tomczak. He's not Mike Tomczak. I don't see that. Dex is our best player, to be honest. No, he's not. Right now, Brian Burns is your best player. Right now, Brian Burns is garnering the respect that Dexter Lawrence used to get. Brian Burns is getting the double teams. And Brian Burns has produced, 25 tackles and 10 sacks? Brian Burns is your best player, hands down. He is getting the double teams that Dexter Lawrence used to get. I'll be interested to see what the organization trade stance is after Sunday, especially if we lose to the 49ers at home. I'd be interested to see that as well. I'm going to be at the Knicks game. I was going to go to the 49er game, but I'm going to the Knicks game. Knicks play at 7 against the Bulls. Again, someone gave me their Knicks tickets, and I was like, the Giants do play at 1. I could shoot over to the city. I don't know. Maybe I'll still go for the Giant game for a little bit. But I'm going to the Knicks game Sunday. I'm going to the Knicks game Sunday. Let's call it a day. Let's see here. Darren Dime said, Brian Burns getting all the... Yes, Brian Burns is getting all the double teams. You're right. Let's see here. Complete passes on a team full of guys that can't catch ain't much of a stat, Tim. Here's the thing. Wait a minute. No. Wandale Robinson. He's the greatest wide receiver ever. Darius Slayton. So glad we brought him back $36 million. This is going to be the turnaround year for Jalen Hyatt. Theo Johnson, Dane Bellinger. They're great tight ends. This is the shit that I heard going into this season when I kept telling you our wide receiver room outside of Neighbors is garbage. No. Like Dexter Lawrence, you cannot use that excuse. You can't use the fucking elbow as an excuse. Nope, sorry. Not taking it. And I love you, brother. RWB says there's a lot of tickets on secondary market right now. The swamp bucket is going to it's going to be all 49er fans. It's going to be, let's see. Jared says Tua hasn't done shit for Miami. They have to miss. Oh yeah. Like I said, if I think Miami misses Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill had this tenacity about him. Jalen Hurts is kind of the same way. Jalen Hurts has got this, there's this thing with Jalen Hurts that you look at him. He looks like this calm, mild-mannered guy. But to Mr. Taz's point, he'll run you the fuck over. He will try to run you over. He will try to block you. Of course, it's not that difficult when you're blocking Kayvon Thibodeau. But we want to give him $86 million. What are you going to do when I'm gone, guys? Literally, what are you going to do? Since you were gone. Charles Barkley says you listened here. You listen here. Old negative Timmy boy Jackson Dart will adjust, and maybe if he had good weapons on his left, he knew how to throw there. Maybe if you go back, Charles Barkley, and I love Charles Barkley, the real one, because he's not a fucking idiot. Maybe if you go back and look at what he did and how he played at Ole Miss and where he threw, because they cut the field in half, Lane Kiffin did, I'll give you a hint. It's to the right. And you can't have it that we have the greatest wide receivers ever, then all of a sudden he's not playing up to expectations and it's everyone else's fault. You are what's wrong with the fucking fan base. Every game so far, he's a dink and dunk short yards thrower. Yes, you're right. 100%. 1,000 for James 27. Jalen Hyatt is healthy. Scratch yet again. We could just cut him or trade him for some tape. Nobody wants him. The Giants will put. Oh, the Niners are going to kill us in the running game. Christian McCaffrey, and I'm telling you right now, the Brian Robinson Jr. in his days with the Skins, and they are with the Washington Redskins. I'm going to keep saying Redskins. They are the Washington Redskins. And I can say this because my wife is part Native American. And she's not offended by it. He knows how to beat the Giants. He had big days against the Giants. Again, if I'm the 49ers, like I said against, if I was the Philadelphia Eagles who ran the ball 33 times for 276 yards, I would never throw. I would take everyone out of pass coverage and just have them block for the running game. I would go 2-1 wide receiver sets. I'd put everyone up on the line and then watch Christian McCaffrey run past Tyler Nubin. It's not that difficult to figure out. It's been the same modus operandi for 4 years. It's not difficult. And I love it how I am negative. Your team is fucking 2-6. Get off your pussy asses and get fucking angry. I'm tired of this panty waist fucking society where you can't get mad about anything. Everything has to be, we all have to be nice to each other. Fuck that. Your team is 2-6. You were 3-14 last year. You were 6-11. Charles Barkley, get off your dick and get mad. Be aggravated. This is supposed to be your team. And the only person standing up and telling the truth is Carl Banks, who gets paid by the Giants. And then he's got to take the ignominious arrows and slings and arrows from people outside that don't know shit about football. And then have stupid comments like, well, if he could throw to the left, if he had someone to throw to. You could take the wide receiver on the right and put him on the left. Then you got someone to throw to. Val said it best in Tremors, man. We decided to leave this place just one damn day too late. Because you know what? As Giant fans, get angry. Your team is 2-6. And part of this mamby-pamby fucking 20-year-old fucking fan base is sitting there like, well, it's all these other people's faults. No, it's not everyone else's fault. It is the fault of the owners, the fault of the general managers, it's the fault of the players, it's the fault of the coaching staff. I feel like, again, that I'm sitting here alone.
There isn't anything for you here. I have men at my back, and you stand alone and defy me. I'm not alone.
Hey, Charles Barkley, fuck off. Take a big drink fuck off and get the out, because you know what? You're too goddamn stupid to watch.
Get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
I don't want to hear it. I hope I lost another subscriber. Because if you're going to sit here and be a pussy ass on my channel because you don't know shit about football, you're going to tell me I don't know about football. Oh, I only played it. I only worked professionally in it. I've only been right 80% of the fucking time of everything I've said. And your pussy ass is going to come here and say that to me? Fuck off. Take a big glass of fuck off and get the hell out, because you're too goddamn stupid to watch it. Nobody wants you here anyways. Because we are tired of morons. And that's what a segment of this fan base is. Oh, we can't say anything because it might be offending. Oh, I'm so offended by it. I reached in my pocket and found 0 fucks for you. Okay, so we got, hey, Strider, what's going on here? Is he hurt or injured? There's a big freaking difference. Slider, this is why I love you, brother. This is why I love Slider. Slider gets it, because we've talked about this on the channel. There's a difference between being hurt and injured. You can play hurt. I played hurt all the time. You could play hurt. Rub some dirt on and get back in there. It's the amount of pain that you can play with. And that used to be the big thing in the 90s. Are you hurt or are you injured? And I remember now people used to be like, well, you know, there's no difference. No, there's a huge fucking difference. Because if you're just hurt and you're not going to make it worse by playing, and you're not going to injure yourself more, then you played. And you didn't make excuses. And I give Dexter Lawrence credit for that. If the elbow was bothering him and he's not saying anything, I give him credit for that. But then he can't come back 3 weeks from now and say, well, my elbow's been bothering me. You can't. That's what I'm saying. Oh, God, I hate our fan base. Tim, I don't mind Carl Banks said that stuff about Dexter. I don't either. Petro says, I agree the fan base is dumb. If Joe S. and Dable say they're happy with the roster at the beginning of the season, everyone thinks they're going to the playoffs. Sometimes free thinking needs to be promoted. There you go. Free thinking. Have a thought. Have a process.
Because I like to think. I like to read. I'm into freedom of speech and freedom of choice. I'm the kind of guy who likes to sit in a greasy spoon and wonder, gee, should I have the T-bone steak or the jumbo rack of barbecue ribs with the side order gravy fries? I want high cholesterol. I want to eat bacon and butter and buckets of cheese, okay? I want to smoke a Cuban cigar the size of Cincinnati in the non-smoking section. I want to run through the streets naked with green jello all over my body reading Playboy magazine. Why? Because I suddenly might feel the need to, okay, pal? I've seen the future. You know what it is? It's a 47-year-old virgin sitting around in his beige pajamas drinking a banana broccoli shake singing, I'm an Oscar Mayer wiener.
Thank you, Demolition Man. Because that sums up a segment of our fan base. And I used to not blame them, because they were probably like 10 or 11 back in 2011 when the Giants won the Super Bowl. And now 14 years later, they're like they're anywhere between like 23 and 27. And they grew up in this mamby-pamby society that they have to do this and they have to say this. That's the problem. That's the problem. So I used to not blame them, but I can't abide by stupidity. I will be back that guy. Will be that get back guy, coach. Pocket the 100K for the next 17 weeks of work. You're right. James Stein said Dart needs to work on his ball placement so he can hit people in stride and avoid injuring key players going forward. No one is doing that right now. Maybe the new coaches can help him grow. That's what I said. This is what the problem is. This is what the problem is. This is what the problem is with Jackson Dart. He got Cam Scatterbo hurt. He threw behind. It was a hip drop tackle. No, it wasn't hip drop tackle, because that's the easy excuse. He threw the ball. Cam Scatterbo is this way. He threw the ball that way on the outside instead of throwing it in front of Cam on the inside, which is an easier catch, so he doesn't have to stop, lean back, and come back from the ball, which is probably how he got his ankle caught, and then the player landed on it. Malik Neighbors, we've shown the film. Free play, you throw the ball 3 to 4 yards ahead of Malik Neighbors, it's a touchdown, or it's going to be a long incompletion. No, you throw the ball 3 yards, technically 6 yards short, have your star wide receiver have to stop in mid-running, leap contort his body and turn, and you literally saw him, you saw his ACL tear in the air. It was not a turf injury to come back for the ball because it's not proper ball placement. You're right. You're not wrong. Tim just leaked that we are living in the Matrix. That's a good one. That's a good one. Angry Black Man Podcast. James, are you working? I'd love to have James on. James, OGR Sports played next for Aaron Donald. That's what I love. I always ask people outside of the 1 year with Adamic Sue, name me the defensive tackle that played alongside Aaron Donald. And I'll wait. Don't Google it. Just let me know. You're right. Again, Kibbs is a stiff. I agree. Good for Carl Banks. You're right. Carl Banks said what he had to say. Oh, Philosophy Stoner, what's up? What's up, my brother? Philosophy Stoned. Brian Dable is the player's coach version of Joe Judge. You know, that's actually really good. I love it. Crazy old. Oh, I love it. This is what he has. This is what Charles fucking Pussy has. He's crazy and he's old. Oh, I'm old. Yeah. No shit, Sherlock. I also have gray hair. Wow. I'm cut to the core. I'm old. Oh, dearest me. Oh, no. I need to go into hiding because I'm old. I could still kick your fucking ass up and down the street all day long. So take a big glass of shut the fuck up and unsubscribe already because nobody wants you here anyways.
Get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
I hate people. Here we go. You're gone. You're gone. Oh. I know. I'm old. I love that. You're old. Okay. I always love it. And my other one is this is the defense, because this is the other indemnity stupidity of the younger generation. They only come up with one thing and they have no facts or logic behind it. You're old and you liked Malik Willis. Bad Dog Chris and all these other people sucked at the dick of the altar of Daniel Jones for 6 years and was wrong for 6 years. They don't get called out for that, but I get called out for I like Malik Willis, who Matt LaFleur said last year that if Malik Willis isn't on the team, they don't make the playoffs because he had 4 wins. And I said, and everyone always misquotes what I said. I said he's going to have to sit a year or two and learn before you can even play him. Oh, and I'm old. I love it. I'm so old in my late 50s. I have more testosterone than someone in their 20s. That's why this hair grows like this, but Charles Barkley. And I like Charles Barkley. I was there when something happened on Church Street Station. That was a real Charles Barkley. No, not the pussy ass version of Charles Barkley. Oh, where was I? Scrambling Chad Pennington. That's what he is. He is scrambling Chad Pennington. Let's see. OG Knockout. Joe Shane sucks at drafting, so why don't delusional Giants fans expect him to draft good weapons for Jackson Dart? Shaking my head. Shane should go sell his Buick at the Lemon Lot. I love it because the fickleness of the Giant content creators will tell you that all of a sudden that Joe Shane had these great draft class because certain players played well for a week. And then I love it because you look at 2023, Banks is probably going to be gone. JMS should be gone. Hyatt's gone. Eric Gray's gone. Trey Hawkins is gone. Jordan Riley is gone. And Javarius Owens is gone. So next year, potentially his entire 2023 class will be gone. 2022, Beaver's gone. McKeithen gone. Davidson's going to be gone. McFadden you can keep. Dane Belton's garbage. Dane Bellinger's garbage. Cordell Flott was the only one that you had playing well before he got hurt. Jonathan Azuda, garbage. Wando Robinson, if you re-sign him for a large amount of money for a slot receiver, you're more of an idiot than I thought. Evan Neal's going to be gone, and someone wants to give Kayvon Thibodeau $86 million. Darius Muasau, garbage. Tyrone Tracy hasn't found his footing again. Theo Johnson never met a ball he couldn't drop. Drew Phillips and Tyler Newbin, that stalwart secondary, both of them are garbage. And Malik Neighbors, Good player who's going to be in Washington in 2 years. Jackie Moon. Jackie Moon, baby. Dart is Gardner Minshew. No, he's not Gardner Minshew. The thing with Jackson Dart is Jackson Dart's progression is going to be tied to whoever his quarterback coach is. That's it. Whoever's coaching him as a quarterback. And I personally don't see the arm strength. I don't see the velocity. I see a scrambling quarterback who can throw on the run. But I also see a quarterback that right now has the inability to stay in the pocket. And the charts don't lie, even though Dexter Lawrence says stats lie when they don't. Can love to love me, baby. Well, the only problem with that is he also has a running game. So that's not going to happen. Let's see here. Everyone is getting fired, and we legit have 2 wins, and we aren't retaining players like Tibbs and have high value right now. I don't understand how we're not trading. I don't understand how we're not trading Kevin Tibbs at all. I'm thinking 4 years, 140 million. Yeah, of course. I'm always going to preach. Preach, huh? Can I get an amen? Tibbs just sounds like my high school coach. Men aren't allowed to get angry anymore. We wear Crocs, use hand sanitizer, and gluten-free pizza. James, would any one of those things be in my house? You've been to my house. James, men can't be masculine anymore. You're right. No excuses. No excuses. Why? Yeah, right here. No excuses. Why wide receivers can't step up after neighbors went down. Wide receiving room is depth and going in. And I was told this. Why? But to your point, why aren't people stepping up? Why aren't people and why isn't Jackson Dart making players better? I thought that was the job of the quarterback. This feminine shit is going out of control. 80s breed of the last of real men. OG Knockout, you just nailed that. Protect says, I've entered this live stream at the right time. This is a man's man. This is to protect _1. This is a man's man. He even put in his comment section, we don't agree with each other all the time, and I don't agree with what you said, but so be it. And that's what men do. That's what men do. We disagree, but then we still go out and we have a beer. I've told this story with my friend Dave, and I don't even remember what the fight was about. This was in the early 90s. This was at his house, and he had this. He had his front room separated by this standalone. He had, like, you came in through a foyer and you went into a living room, and then there was like this standalone wall with like this stained glass thing that he built that came out. And I forgot what we got into in a fight about, but we literally got into a fist fight. I mean, we got into a drag down fucking brawl to the point that we took out that wall. I threw him through that wall. And I remember we're both sitting on the floor. I'm taping up my hand. He's got an ice pack on his head. I'm bleeding out of my nose. And we're both just sitting there. To this day, I still don't remember. We talk about it once, so I don't remember what the fight was about. And then his girlfriend comes home and said, what the fuck happened? And then he told her. And then he looks at me and goes, so you ready to go out? And his girlfriend goes, you just kicked the shit out of each other and destroyed the living room, and you're going out? He goes, yeah, because it's over. And we talk about it. And this was what, 30, 40 years ago? We talk about it. 30 years ago. We talk about it every once in a while. We joke about it. But no, we can't remember what the fight was about. But it was over. The fight was done. We left. Hang out, went out and had a great time. Last Dragon says, Rattler beat us, immediately gets benched and demoted. These clowns are still our coaches. Mira's obviously the problem. Yeah, Punk, man. What do we got here? Let's get. Petro says, I played hurt so many games. At one game, I legit couldn't run, but stayed in. Dude gets paid millions of dollars and is 10 times the size of me. Grow up the fuck up, Dexter. I'm not going to say Dexter grow up because, like I said, Dexter Lawrence is a good player. Dexter Lawrence is a professional. But to your point, he needs to understand that especially as you get older into your career, criticism is going to come abound. And you need to you need to have the ability to handle criticism. I'm going to put the link in the chat. Oh, I'm so tired. You're old. Wow, that's the best you. I mean, seriously, that's the best you have. You're old. That's it. That's it. That's the best you got. You're not, and I love it. You don't know as much about football as you think. Okay, but you didn't list anything that I said that was wrong or inaccurate. You just went into you're old. This is why I hold on. Let's see here. I put in to you or me streaming. Hold on, I gotta text people. I love when people are like, I'm working, people. People want to have conversations. People want to have conversations with me, but I gotta answer this text because it's kind of an important text. Text with the new. I'm watching commodities at the moment. I'm watching commodities. Yes. Everyone just hold on. Gotta remember, people. I've been retired for 14 years. When I have to check the commodities market and I gotta check the stock market. I dumped a whole bunch of gold the other day, and then I bought it back at under 4. And now we're doing pretty good here. But I don't understand the Dow. The Dow I don't understand right now. Hold on, everyone. All right, Dow's up 205. Okay. And Tesla's down, of course, because I knew Tesla was going to go down once they signed the trade deal. Let's see. Dark Simi said Dex is never going to say his elbow is bothering him. I have a feeling he will be back into normal next year under the new regime. I don't think he will, because this has been going on for a little bit now. Masculine days, masculine male all day, no punk shit over here. 80s baby, Patterson baby, Newark, Patterson, Trenton baby. Patterson, Patterson, New Jersey, back in the 80s. That's like living in Trenton in the 80s. I agree. OG, no punk here. That's right. What's up, in Jersey? Sup, Tim? You're going to meet up with the bad dog on Sunday. I'm going to try to. The problem is, like I said, someone gave me Knicks tickets. And I'm not going to lie. I love going to Giant Stadium, but I have so much more fun at MSG. I'm treated like a god at MSG. So I have, so it's got, I want to, what I want to do, but it's a little harder to do because the channel, we have to get the channel separated. Knicks Unleashed, my podcast for the Knicks. I want to do a giveaway where I take someone in the area to a Knicks game. That you go to a Knicks game with me. And anyone that's been to a Knicks game with me knows where I sit. And I sit in the third row behind the basket underneath the right next to the away bench. And I really want to take somebody with me because I take a subscriber or a follower or whatever you call them on Twitter with me because of the fact that I just want people to experience. I want people to experience what I experience when I go to a Knicks game. Because while the Giant games are fun and interesting and I get to hang out and meet people and see people that I haven't seen, the Knicks game is truly, and that's why the tickets for MSG for Knicks, even when the Knicks are bad, are hard to get because it's just such an experience. it's just such a visceral experience that you're there and you just have so much fun. And I mean, I always tell people I don't know how to explain it other than potentially taking a subscriber or follower or whatever the hell you called when you do the YouTube, because we're going to be separating the we're going to separate the YouTube channel from the what you call it channel from this channel, because we're just going to separate it, because I think it's easier to do that than anything else. But I just wish there was a way that I literally could take people to the game. And I was thinking about it. There is a way I could do it. I could have some kind of contest to have people here we go. This is my let's give them something to talk about. Let's talk about love. I'm going to delete that picture because I do look good in that picture, but I don't want to have that picture. Let's see here. We're going to take that one out. Here is this is, here we go. I had to airdrop it to myself because I could airdrop things now. I'm like, because I'm old. Here you go. This is the view from my seats. This is my view. So I want to take people to this experience, because this experience is just something that, like I said, I love the fact that we have taken people over the last 4 plus years to, for their first Giant games. And I would love to do that someone like that. Go Cash and Gold. The bottom is about to, no, the bottom right now for Gold. City is the only one that's lowered his expectation to 3,600 an ounce. Most other people have 5,000 an ounce. Oh, this is going to be good. I just drop you in now, my brother, because I just, this is going to be, let's lose us another subscriber.
I don't want to lose you subscribers. You're doing that on your own.
I know. I want you to be involved in the subscriber loss. Come on.
Almost 300 is pretty good. It's pretty good.
On one video.
That's pretty good. Like I said, it's going to be a good end of the season.
Well, I love this, that football celebrations are so feminine. You mean the Jackson Dart dance in the end zone wasn't masculine and manly?
No, I think that's some dance or something he was doing, but I really usually see girls do that, to be honest.
Not saying anything. There is a, I think it was Bud Light did a commercial back in the early 90s called Here's to You, NFL Male Cheerleader. And it was a satire of, male cheerleaders in the NFL, because there was no male cheerleaders in the NFL. And it was so fucking funny. And someone took that video and took it and pieced in the male cheerleaders that we have now into that video. And it's fucking hilarious. Because those
nice, yeah.
Male cheerleaders.
Yeah, society is a little weird right now. Certain things, dancing, one of them. Yeah.
Okay, Carl Banks.
All right, here we go.
Carl Banks. Yes or no to what he said? His comment was it?
Carl.
Was it? Wait. Let me finish that. Was it wrong or was it right? Or was it just truth?
I think it was just truth, number one, and not this weird thing where people go, I got to speak my truth. Just it's truth, It's like just what everybody can see, It's not like they had a conversation in a room and it's what he said versus what he said. He's talking about something that millions of people can see on camera every week.
Yeah.
And, and again, he has been one of our best players, not the best, but one of our best players over the years. He's a good player. He's not Aaron Donald, but he is a good player, especially for us. And we love Dex, but, Carl has called out other players, maybe not to this extent, but he's called out other players before.
Wait a minute. Here's the thing. If you listen to the full statement that Carl Banks said, the full statement, he didn't say the league. He didn't say the league is disrespecting him. He basically said that he is not getting the respect that he used to get because of the fact that he's not getting double teamed anymore. And Dexter Lawrence's response was, "Well, look at the tape." And I looked at the tape, and he's getting and yes, last week he went up against a backup center because Cam Jurgens was out and did nothing.
He was.
And he went and I watched it, and the majority of the time he was one-on-one with this backup center. So Carl Banks didn't say you're not respected by anyone in this league. You're not respected by any players. All he said is he's not getting the respect that he used to get because he's not seeing the double teams, because those double teams are going to Brian Burns.
Yeah. And Brian Burns is still being effective, more so to the point.
Right.
So if Brian Burns can still be effective, garnishing the attention he's getting, then you and other guys of the team should be able to step up.
Yeah.
And when I say call out, I guess I should say highlight. You know, and he's not like calling him out saying, "Oh, you're trash," and you're garbage. You're not what you used to be, and you don't belong on the NFL top 100 list. Yeah, he's not say all that.
No.
So he's highlighting him. And in a sense, kind of pulling him out in front of the class, whatever. People, like you said, people are just sensitive today. Where it's like, he's calling him out, he's disrespected. Like, it's not all that.
I don't even think he's calling him out in front of anyone, because
that's what I'm saying.
He's literally just pointing out truth. Fuck, I gotta subscribe.
Oh,
damn it!
You said you got one.
I got one.
Good, because you're speaking sense.
I'm down 100. I'm down 149 today. I got a subscriber. Why you want to screw with me, people?
There you go. He's offsetting the numbers.
Yeah, you're screwing everything up. Here's to you, male cheerleader. So, but I don't think he sat there maliciously and went after, in my opinion, and went after him.
No, he didn't. But we don't hold players accountable here anymore. That's been a trend for a long time that I've noticed. That I don't know when that happened. I must have been asleep. I must have been here in the garage watching a movie, watching a Sharknado or something. Like I don't know what happened, but we don't hold players accountable. And if you point something out to the obvious, people get so defensive and upset. And even to the point of saying something silly like, "We'll go look at the tape." Okay, you go look at the tape. Right.
We did.
It's like,
that was the problem.
That's just okay, you feel, I guess he felt, obviously we're all human. We all have emotions. Like when I'm saying like, masculinity and things, like we all have emotions. It's about how you handle them though, that separates us. And Dex right there obviously felt a little kind of way, obviously, Carl Banks, he's a giant legend, brought my name up. Okay. So he felt he was on the defensive, clearly, if you watch the video, as most humans would be. But, to sit up here and, and say he's delusional. Okay, I guess we're all delusional then, and I'm fine with being delusional if what I'm seeing is the truth.
Well, I love the point where he goes, well, watch the tape. But first he goes, well, stats don't always tell the whole truth.
Right.
I'm doing things that aren't being shown in the stats. And then like a minute later, he goes, well, statistically, if you look it up, you'll see I'm doing this. It's like, you just told me the stats don't mean anything. Now you're telling me to look I mean, I've said this for years, and I'm going to keep saying it. I think this is a lot of it's been poor media training with the Giants in reference to their players. Because even if you're offended, you're also getting paid to do a job. And if you look at what you're doing statistically, you're not up to par what you did 3-4 years ago. I'm not saying you need humility, but I am saying you need a little self-reflection and say, like I said before, first thing I would say is, you know what? As a professional athlete, we can always be better. We can always do better. I'm always striving to do different things to make myself player, to enhance my game. And hopefully I can continue that through the remainder of my career.
I mean, that's with anything in life that you should want to be better.
That's all you got to say.
It's anything in life, you should want to be better. That there's nothing wrong with that. And again, Carl Banks is somebody that he has the cachet that if he wanted to highlight something, he can say that. He's literally a New York Giants legend. He played defense here at a high level, and now he is in the media, so which he's been for years, So again, like, we're all humans. Dexter Lawrence obviously was on the defensive there, whatever, but it's not the end of the world. My thing is this: what is Dexter going to do now Sunday? Because now obviously we've talked about this. You've actually been approached by it by reporters at your locker. The focus is going to be on you. Only a deaf and blind donkey wouldn't see that. And how is Dexter going to come out? Obviously with the rest of the team in the defense, but after the loss. But how is Dexter Lawrence going to come out, and is he going to lead this defense for a complete game? Because let's be honest, we haven't, as much as even in the wins that Jackson Dart has helped with, but even in those wins where the defense has had moments, they haven't had a complete game. Not yet.
No.
So let's see if we get that.
I'm so happy the Knicks are going play on Sunday. I'm so happy.
Yeah. Well, listen, you heard Michael Jordan. Load management is not a thing, Mitchell Robinson.
Yes.
You heard MJ.
And I heard Angel Reese, we're not going to play unless we get paid like the NBA.
Well, Angel Reese is a model now, so that's basketball.
Because she was never a basketball player.
Well, she's a model now, so that's what I told Rachel. I said, well, hey, this is if you want to be a model, okay, I'll treat you like a model. Fine.
And just to get off topic for 1 second, talking about being self-delusional. As NBA players, you were offered double what you're making now. Your league has never turned a profit. You're subsidized by the NBA. Even in your best seasons with Caitlin Clark, in reference to attendance, you're still not making a profit. That NBA money goes away. The league folds. And we want proper revenue sharing. Okay, so your revenue was negative $10 million. So by my account, each player owes the league $46,000 to play. That's another version of delusionalism. That's a good word. I just made that up. Delusionalism. That's another great. That's a great word. It's all delusionalism. It's like Abdul Carter. He wanted. I was just about to talk about Mr. Tass posted. He wanted to wear number 56. He wanted it unretired.
Oh.
He's got a half a sack. But all I hear about, unlike Dexter Lawrence, well, look at the amount of pressures he has. He leads all rookies in pressures. Okay, you have a half a sack and like 11 tackles in eight games.
Well, the funniest thing also with the Lawrence conversation is, Dexter Lawrence, he's actually a player on the team, as we all know, and he's there. So when we're watching things on film, I'm pretty sure Dexter Lawrence is watching things too, not just his play, but other guys. And he's probably looking at the team going, well, damn, Carl, you could have called somebody else out too if you're going to bring me up. That's probably what he's thinking. He won't say it.
Here's my thing with Dexter Lawrence, though. Dexter Lawrence says, go and watch the film. Go and watch the tape. Isn't Carl Banks the color commentator for the Giants? So doesn't he watch every single game?
I would like to think so, Captain.
From the stadium? And then he probably goes back and watches the games afterwards for his review on his podcast or anything he does for the Giants. So Dexter does not think that maybe like what I did, go back and watch the last 6 games and focus on 97, that you can clearly see he's just not getting the double teams or the respect, like what Carl Banks said, or some call it the aura. I love that word respect now. That's going to be my new thing. I'm not getting the respect that he thinks he should be getting.
Well, that's the thing. It's funny you keep saying the word respect, and again, we don't use our brains. We don't read anymore. If Carl Banks, instead of saying respect, would have used the word attention, I guarantee you, people would have taken it totally different. Again, we don't think about vocabs and that, but because he used the word respect, people have Oh, even Dexter probably said, "I'll say." But if he would have said attention, it would.
To your point, the one thing that also people change about that respect word is what? What are they? They're not saying that he's not getting the respect. They are saying he is being. This is what the media, the fan base, and the stupid content creators are saying. They are saying he's being disrespected. No. Carl said he is not getting the respect on the field in regards to the double teams. Carl Banks did not come out and say you're being disrespected. No, he's saying you're not, in reference to the double teams, he is not getting the respect that he got 3 years ago.
Pretty much.
Evidently, what people just did is we're just going to add the diss in front of it.
We just put some sazon on it. You know how we do here.
A little adobo, a little sazon, a little
sazon, You know what I'm saying? Spice it up a little bit, if we put in the fry. Yeah, that's what we do here, The
first thing is, none of those things are a spice. They're not going to give you any spice. They're more of a seasoning.
Oh, again, vocab.
I'm old, so I know this.
Oh, that was funny. Oh, yeah, you were mean to the old. Oh, that was funny. I got to bring that up. Sidebar. He's old man. I'll kick your old ass. Like, we got old man.
See, even at my advanced age,
that's hilarious.
Even the wife says, and other friends say, even at your advanced age, you're not afraid of anybody. Like, nope. Because I could take a punch and I can still give a punch. And I like to
also. You're a grown man.
And in our house, we refer, and my son has this. I refer to it as the stupid gene. And Tiffany is very upset that our son got it. That we have this issue of pain. It doesn't bother us. And, I remember when my son broke his foot, he didn't want to go to the hospital. He walked on it, but he would limp and he would fall down, but he would just walk on it. He goes, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. I don't need to go to the hospital. So we finally go to the hospital and found, well, you have a fractured foot. So the stupid gene allows me to be even more stupid because when I get hit or hurt, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother you until well after. So that's the other problem. We have, like I said, in this house, it's called the stupid gene. Like when I cut my leg open with when I was cutting tile with the tile cutter and I was bleeding all over the floor, what I did, I took some of the, waterproof tape that I was using on the wall, wrapped it around my leg and used some duct tape and wrapped it up. Wife comes home and goes, what is that? I said, I cut my leg open. And she peels it up and goes, you need to go get stitches. And I said, no, don't worry about it. She's like, no. She said, waterproof tape and duct tape is not going to heal this. I finished the bathroom though. Same day.
I don't, it's not I know why she calls it that, obviously, but I think that's just the male. I don't know what it is, but we all think we have the Wolverine DNA where we could go out here. Well, most of us do. Some of us are just, like I said, using hand sanitizer, wearing Crocs.
I don't anymore.
But some of us, we have the Wolverine DNA where something will happen and we assess it by going, can I finish what I'm doing first, or can I just finish where I'm going first? And how bad is this? Okay, I'll be okay. Let me just finish this first. I'll tend to this later. It'll heal. It'll clot. It'll clot. That's what my mama told me. It'll clot.
I go to the emergency room and the ER doctor unwraps it and he looks at it and goes, did you really think this was going to heal up by itself? And I said, well, I couldn't find the stapler. And then he looks at my wife and goes, no, he's serious. So I was like, I had to finish the bathroom.
Yeah, you want to
finish the tiling. And I actually think I was on the phone with you at one point in time when I was doing the tiling before I cut my leg.
I think I remember that because you were like, yeah. He was like, oh, it's kind of leaking here. And I was like, well, leaking how bad? And you were like, well, it's leaking a little bad.
Out of my leg, yeah.
Yes. And I was like, well, we got to judge it. Gotta wait.
I judged it. 12 hours later, I went to the emergency room.
As long as you go within 24 hours.
I don't think I lost more than a pint of blood. Because they didn't.
You'll get more.
They didn't need to give me any blood or any plasma. So I think.
Oh, well, there you go.
So is the WNBA is a tax write-off for the NBA? You're not wrong. You're not. I honestly don't think you're wrong. But the NBA, the way they're going right now, they're gonna need to pull the plug on that. Mr. Taz says they're not a spice; they are rack salt. See, yes, they are not a spice. They are a seasoning, James. Okay, I just want you to know. Well, we get to Dark Simmons comments. They said Carter is doing what they asked him to do. So what exactly are they asking him to do? Stunt, twist, so Burns can get the sack.
That's a scary, yeah.
Wow, that is
actually really.
That's an astute observation. I didn't even think about that because they do say that about a car. Well, he's doing what we ask him to do. So you're
get pushed in the dirt.
Yeah,
get pushed in the dirt. Get pushed out of bounds.
To get rolled into the ground.
Don't get tackles. Don't get any tackles.
To get shot putted backwards by Lane Johnson. Is that what they tell you to do?
Don't stop the run.
Explain this to me because you're smart.
Sometimes.
The Giants have, in my mind, the worst defense in regards to stopping the run in the league. And one of the things that you talk about in reference to stopping the run is your defensive line and your linebackers. So Kayvon Thibodeau, who has 11 tackles and 2.5 sacks, having his best season ever, is being told that he is having his best season. And they want to give him people want to give him 4 years and $86 million. What am I missing? You have no sacks and you can't stop the run. Pro Football Focus has his grade against a run of 89.1 out of 100, with 100 being the best. I'm
wow, like, that's crazy.
How is that possible? Explain it to me.
All right, well, just for you analytics nerds out there, just for context, the only two teams in the league that are worse than us are White.
All right, no, I'm sorry. You know, we have an emergency here. Nothing terrible, but we have an emergency here. Nothing bad. I have to go run. I gotta go to school real quick. I forgot I was supposed to be at school at 1:00. I got the 1:00 thing. I gotta be at school at 1. So
okay.
Love everyone. Love you, James. I'll call you in a little bit. I gotta go. I'm out.